Where shall we go today? Where shall we go? Where do you want to go today? Let's visit
Cambridge! Some of the buildings in Cambridge are that old that they actually look like they're about to fall down. Like this one, for example, which is on Ship Street. And it actually looks like it's a ship that's doing that on the sea. It's very realistic and also quite scary. Some buildings in Cambridge predate history. Like, for example, this tower here, which was actually done by the dinosaurs. It's that old, but it's still got some humans there clanging bells whenever the clock rings. It's very exciting, although it's not working at the moment. There's a few things you notice when you're in Cambridge. One is the birds are weird. What's that bird there? I don't know what that bird is. Also, the buildings are really, really old, and some of them are quite spectacular, like this one behind me, which has got a massive tower on it with a big clock. I don't know what it does though, it's just cute, isn't it? Another thing you notice is the bikes. People in Cambridge are that poor that they have to use bikes to go everywhere. They don't even lock them up because there's that many of them. It's not worth stealing them. Like I said before, there's a lot of bikes here. And when I say a lot of bikes, I mean a lot of bikes. I think there's more bikes here than there are locks on that bridge. Because they just go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Oh, it's ended. Yeah, more bikes. More bikes. This behind me is the Cambridge Mound. It's basically just a pile of earth that people in the past just piled up and they've left it and made it into a monument for mounds of earth with a tree on it. Ah. Right next to the mound and through that wall there is this, which is the old prison. You can tell it's a prison because the windows are really small and there's no one getting out and stuff. I think it was in the Romanian town of York where we come across a restaurant with a really crap name. Well, they've got one here as well. It's a Slug and Lettuce. Again, the commentary here says we're still open. Come in and say hello. Sadly, it's closed at the moment. Cambridge is very cosmopolitan. There we've got the Edinburgh Woolen Mill, and next to that we've got Oxford Gifts. Isn't that nice? Other people's towns being given a nice mention in the middle of this town. Is there any landmarks in Cambridge that really show off Cambridge old technology and old architecture? It's the one in front of me. But I want to show you the one behind me first, which is that. Another church tower. There are so many church towers here, it is unbelievable. You've got more churches than they've got pubs, and that's saying something. But the iconic one, of course, is the one behind me, which is that one, which was famous for the detective series filmed in Cambridge with, what was he called? Kojak, that was it. The Kojak series. So that was always in the titles, and he drove his Ferrari around the... oh no, that was Magnum. But anyway, it was all good. Oh, news at 6. There's more bikes. There's loads of tourists. I'm in Cambridge. I've run out of things to say. Oh, that door just opened. There you go. So there you go, the 6 o'clock chimes of the clock thing. Here in Cambridge, live. Well, recorded. But it was live when I recorded it. But now it's recorded. Yeah. Okay, there we go, a different angle. The fabulous round building of Cambridge. It is very nice and very impressive in the sunlight. But I'm in a tunnel. We like tunnels, because when we go in tunnels we end up somewhere exciting. Look at the roof of this tunnel, actually. Ceiling even. We end up here. And this was not what I was expecting, to be fair. Wow. To be fair, there's a lot of schools for old people here in Cambridge because I don't think that education is very good. So people have to keep going to school until they're in their mid-20s. So all these buildings here, a lot of these buildings here, are actually schools for old people. Although it does look more like Hogwarts or something similar. Behind me is a statue of someone famous from the oldie days, but it's not a very good statue because it hasn't got a seagull on its head. I think I figured out why they have to stay educated so long here. I mean, what does that even say? It's not in English, it's not even in French, it's in some weird tongue. And then that one as well. That one. This is where they have to teach people until they're in their 30s. Again, as I go through this tunnel, there are some amazing doors that are about to be shut right behind me. So I'm the last person to walk through these doors today. There's one door. Each door weighs 14.5 stone, which is the equivalent of 12 tons. Pardon me. Didn't like me joke about the foreign language, I don't think. The bridge behind me dates from... well, I don't know when it dates from, but it looks like it was stolen from Venice. It's not a canal though, it's a road that goes underneath it. I think the bike situation is mainly because everyone's still at school and they can't afford cars, because the education, if you're doing it for years and years and years, the education costs a fortune. So that's why they've all got bikes. And I mean, there are literally thousands and thousands of bikes. You've got all them there, and then you've got all these here as well. It's ridiculous. You'd think they'd have bike lanes or something, wouldn't you? Now I do like a smooth tower, and we've got a lovely smooth tower there on the other side of the road. But then we've also got these smooth pillars as well. Although I won't like to sleep on one. If you like big stone carved heads, you could do a lot worse than come here. Because every single one of these pillars has got a massive big stone head on it. Must be a thing from Cambridge, I don't quite know what that is. Maybe they're famous people, or maybe they're just gargoyles, because none of them are very pretty. But there's literally hundreds of them. Well, 12. That one's got a beard, he must be a hipster. That one doesn't have a beard, he's not a hipster. That one's nearly got a beard. As we go around, we've got the last one coming up, and he looks a little bit shocked. Look at that face. He's like, I'm a head on the top of a pillar. And the guy next to him's like, oh my god, so am I as well. It's all very, very odd. It would appear that most Cambridge doors have massive crests on them. I say massive, it's about as big as my hand, but it's still pretty big for a crest. Cambridge, eh? The building behind me, which is absolutely lovely. It's a very old building that has some importance that I'm not aware of, but it's very, very nice. It's surrounded by bicycles, yet more and more, and of course over the road, more and more and more, and more and more and more bikes. There are more bikes, like I said before, than there are people, which is why they're just left everywhere. If you want a bike, just pick one up and go for a ride, then just leave it somewhere else and someone else can pick it up. Of course, you could always take it back again if you're going back where you came from when you picked it up the first time, but that gets a bit complicated. And to be fair, there are places in Cambridge where you only see the odd bike. This is not one of them. And I mean, seriously, not one of them. I mean, seriously, not one of them. This here is the Saxon Tower of the Northern Gate, which is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, although sadly it's closed at the moment. Who knew Itsu was a shop? I thought it just did rubbish noodles. Now studenty types, they like things to be different and not normal. So studenty types get this Waterstones where when you want to go in, you can't actually get in because it's just full of skips and bits of wood and metal and God knows what. But it's very progressive. It is very posh. It's got a Five Guys, and the little girls work there as well. And there's more than 5 people. But the burgers are all expensive, and not that good, in my opinion. Behind me, you see yet even more stonework that's very, very impressive. Again, I don't know what it's for, but it's nice to look at, isn't it? Until a van gets in the way, and a cyclist, of course. As we walk past the art gallery, we can hear the alarms going off, which means there's probably a robbery underway. Crime-ridden Cambridge. This part of Cambridge is very strange because it's got verandas. But it's got verandas with covers on, which is like straight out of Venice. And then it's even got verandas going all the way down the street. Literally, loads of verandas. And not a single bike in sight. These people must be rich. That's why they got verandas. They don't need bikes. Where they're going, we don't need bikes. Sadly, within gobbing distance of the verandas, guess what? Bikes. Bikes. And even more bikes. Damn. Cambridge has many things. One thing it doesn't have though is a roundabout. Although it has got this round about of trees, which is a bit strange. Nothing in the middle, except a car park underneath, where I've parked. But the odd thing is, it's got an old fire station. And the problem with the old fire station is, you can see why it's an old fire station, not a current used fire station. You can't actually get out of it, because there's bollards everywhere and trees. So it'd be the world's worst fire station. Cambridge, what are you like? Cambridge's bus station is not very grand at all. I mean, for a city the size of this and old as this, it's tiny. I know size isn't everything. Trust me, I know size isn't everything. But you'd expect a bigger one, wouldn't you, and a fancier one? Never mind, maybe one day. Best name for a restaurant ever? Glut, or glut, as in gluttony. I like it anyway, although I probably can't afford to eat there. I now find myself on a bridge over the Cambridge Canal, which is where they practice the boat racing. I think they won this year, or lost. The architecture and culture of Cambridge is plain to see for anyone. It's a beautiful city. It's even inspired Banksy. That's a real Banksy. If you want to come somewhere that's got loads and loads and loads of bikes, you can do a lot worse than come here to Cambridge. And I don't think you could actually do a lot better, unless of course you went to Oxford, because I believe that's very similar to Cambridge in every way. Till next time. Bye.
Where shall we go today? Where shall we go? Where do you want to go today? Let's visit.
This is the one place you won't find any bicycles. And that's because it's a very expensive car park. £7 for 2 hours.